And now on to
ML Elric,
as
the soul of Detroit.
enemy to those who make him an enemy, friend to those who have no friend.
You asked interrogative question around my face. It's gone.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Come on.
That is not paid for by them. That is paid for by the people of Detroit.
You might be qualified, ML.
I'm not qualified for this job.
Let me tell you something. You want to go right now? Okay? You want to go right now?
Hey kids, it's your old pal, ML Elric. And I am the friend to people who have no friends because in high school I was that person who had no friends. So if you don't have any friends and you offer to be the friend to people who have no friends, does anybody take you up on that offer? I mean,
that's too much work. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, it is a little confusing. But one of our best friends.
So you're the same as you were in high school.
65 pounds heavier though. But I am the only guy I went to high school with who actually needed to gain 65 pounds. So
I saw those photos.
That was college.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, when he played women's basketball?
Oh my gosh.
Man, I'll tell you what. I was going to say we've missed you, but now I'm starting to reconsider everything. Maybe the friend, only some who don't have. But Erika has lots of friends. She's very popular. Star of stage and screen. Erika Erickson joining us. And we have a special guest we're going to introduce you to in a minute. Stephen Carroll, former captain of DCFC, is going to tell us about an exciting new opportunity to maybe win $1 million. I hope they're going to give you a piece of that if you guys bring home the trophy, Stephen. And we're brought to you by DCFC. Big game tonight. It's Tuesday if you're listening to us. DCFC takes on the Chicago Fire. MLS soccer is in Detroit, and of course, it's the folks from DCFC who brought it here. They're going to be playing at Keyworth in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup tournament. This is the one where everybody plays, win in advance. So DCFC has beaten an MLS team before. We hope that's going to happen a second time. We'll tell you a little later on in the show how to save money on tickets to every game using a special promo code that's exclusive to our show. We'll also tell you how you can build a better future, or at least plan for the future, by working with Luke Nowacki and his team at Pinnacle Wealth Strategy. We'll let you know about all the great stuff going on at the Caju Cafe. It's always a good time with good food and great people and good music at the Caju. And of course, we're grateful to our soulmates whose sponsors come and go, but our soulmates are there every week to keep us coming back. So we love you, even though people who hate the show may be like, if you guys just left them alone, we could get rid of this. But, don't listen to those people.
We love our soulmates.
That's right. And, of course, the people with no friends, we love those guys, too.
Yeah.
And as the president says, we love the undereducated. We're not so keen on the Pope, but we do like the undereducated.
Oh, my gosh, that AI. Did you see that AI picture and
where
video?
he's the doctor, right?
Trump Jesus?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. It was kind of weird. I noticed he was only...
the doctor. What are you
He
guys
was
talking
taken
about?
down.
He was only saving white people. I think he'll
Hey, why
probably
is it taken down?
He'll
He's
get some
just a
trouble
doctor.
for that. Well,
That's what he said. He said he thought he was a doctor. Why,
yeah, he's
why
a
take it
healer.
down?
He specializes in reattaching ears and bringing back the dead. So
my whole thing on that is
it's a very limited specialty.
okay. You said, I'll just go with you. If you thought you were a doctor, that's fine. You're the president of the United States. How about putting a meme out where you act like the president of the United States? It makes no sense. Oh well. Anyway, end of politics.
Yeah, no. Let's get to something we can all agree on, which is sports. Nobody ever argues about sports, right? And
Never.
Before we get going, there is a new national championship in one of the most popular sports in America, and I would like to congratulate the national championship Denver Pioneers, NCAA men's hockey, crowned this weekend. Congratulations. And there may have been another championship.
You're an incredibly petty man.
There may have been another championship since we last... Was it the...
Go Blue, baby.
The Wolverine...
That was so great. Best team ever.
Yeah, the University of Michigan Globetrotters, best team money can buy, wins a championship.
And
so congratulations.
Just like pro sports. Sorry you have to sit through all this, Stephen. He's a very petty man.
Yeah.
Very. The most.
Well, not the most petty.
As a Spartan, he's very petty.
Top three. Top three. But without further ado, let's bring in Stephen Carroll, who both knows sports as someone who played for the love of the game and also brought some glory here to us in Detroit as captain of DCFC. Stephen's chasing $1 million in this new thing they're doing called the TST Mixed Tournament. It sounds like martial arts, but it's actually 7-on-7 soccer. And if I understand it correctly, the men and the women play together. Is that right?
Yeah, so this year's the TST tournament usually does a men's side and a women's side. So this is the first year they decided to combine those two, and we just got lucky enough to get a spot in that new format, which is men's and women on the same team, but not like co-ed where they're on the field at the same time. It's broken to quarters, and you flip-flop quarters throughout the game. So it's very new. It's never been done, I don't think. So it's exciting.
And how does the scoring work? Do you score goals and the women score goals and it all adds up to the team score?
Yeah, I think it's one continuation throughout the whole thing. So we better not let anyone down on our side.
Yeah, I mean, I've been letting women down my whole life, but there wasn't $1 million on the line, so I think you got a little more pressure on you, Stephen.
I mean, it's all for the $1 million is just the bonus at the end of the day. Just getting out there and getting experience and getting our feet wet in this tournament is what we're looking for this year. So if there's $1 million there to go for, then it's just another reason to be more competitive on the day.
Stephen, what is it? I mean, typical pro athlete, you retire, but then you don't retire. You're right back at it.
Oh, I know it's tough for me to step away. I was just looking for it. Even when I knew towards the end of my career that like I was going to be retiring, I had this lined up in my head already. So I was taking
really?
advantage
For how
of
long?
as much. Sorry?
For how long? You were already ready to go?
Well, it was quicker than expected, but towards the end of last season, I just couldn't handle my knee couldn't handle the daily exercise that you do as a pro athlete. So I just knew that if I didn't do something like this straight off the bat, then I probably would never do it because motivation is low to keep exercising after you retire from professional, doing it every single day.
And this says some of the biggest names in world football will be competing. Obviously, DCFC is a big deal around here, but who are we talking about outside of some names we might recognize as former members of Rouge or teams that I don't know if anybody from Flint or Ann Arbor or any of the other Michigan teams are playing, but who are the marquee names besides, of course, Stephen Carroll?
Well, the world class players that obviously are retired now, but Sergio Aguero played for Man City for years. He's a team in it. Nani, which played for Man United and Orlando City for a very long time. They've got a team in it. Gerard Piqué played for Barcelona and Man United as well for a long time. He's got a similar league in Europe, and he's bringing his best players to the tournament then, and there's like a lot of celebrities like Pat McAfee and stuff like that. He usually does a show on the day there. I don't know if he's doing it again this year, but he did it last year and he played. And there's a few other football players, NFL football players there as well.
Wow.
Is McAfee any good? I can see him maybe on the PKs, but he looks like...
From watching last year, he was actually better than you expected.
Really?
Especially because the competition on the field is actually so high, but he got on the field and he had a few chances and he done well.
Okay. I mean, are you just foaming at the mouth to maybe take on Gerard Piqué or Sergio Aguero? I mean, these are big footballer names, and the former ex of Shakira, by the way, I believe Piqué was.
I completely forgot it. Completely forgot to mention Hope Solo is putting in she's putting in two teams again this year.
I'd be scared of her. She can get pretty rough. I've seen documentaries.
She put a women's side in last year, and now this side she's putting a women's side and the mixed side. So she's got two teams in it this year, and there's a lot of ex-US women's national team players that actually won it and are back in it. Wrexham, the whole story about Wrexham, they're in the mixed tournament this year, and they have two marquee players with Stephen Fletcher and Rosie. She was in the documentary anyway. So like it's, and then you got a bunch of influencers and stuff like that. Just promoting the whole thing. They consider it the Coachella of soccer is what they say online.
Oh my gosh!
Website.
So everybody's going to be rolling,
and the soccer mixed into it.
And this will all be in May and June in North Carolina.
Yeah, it's from like the 27th or 26th of May to June 1st is the Monday, and that's where all the finals take place. So there's three finals.
Okay, and this can be watched on TV. They've yet to announce who's going to broadcast it, but it's the kind of thing that if you're interested, you don't have to look for some exact, this isn't going to be on like ESPN 72. This is going to be on something that you're probably already paying for. And from what I understand, a place where you're probably used to watching some pretty high quality soccer.
Exactly. Yeah, they're just getting new broadcasting this year, so it hasn't been announced yet. I think it's coming out soon, but it's definitely accessible to probably everyone that watches sports.
And what are you most excited about with this? I mean, there's going to be celebrities. There's going to be some people you probably looked up to when you were just kicking the ball in the yard. By the way, where was that yard? Was that in Ireland or Scotland?
It was in Ireland. It was in Cork. Yeah.
Okay, so
way back when.
Yeah.
So I've got.
I anticipate a story.
Yeah,
Of course, he's always got a story.
I've got some cousins in Cork, and I'm going back there in May. Any favorite places you can recommend in Dublin or Cork while I'm doing some research for the show?
As much as I want you to stay out of Dublin and go to Cork only, I always have to go to the Guinness factory, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love all that stuff.
The
but
Jameson
in
tour is
Cork,
worth it. The Jameson tour is great. Yeah.
Yeah. There's in Cork though, you can go anywhere and it's actually a great time. But majority of the time I'm going to tell you about bars and pubs, so we'll leave you to discover that on your own.
Well, I was there last summer and I went to the Butter Exchange and there was a pub right across from the big church there, Ford's Pub. And I'm like, well, I'm from Detroit. I'm going to go to Ford's Pub. And they had a sign on the door that said, no stolen goods are allowed in this pub. And I thought, well,
Yes.
this is the kind of bar that I like. And we were in there. We're in there in the afternoon. Everybody was great. We were buying each other pints. We had a terrific time. It did make us a little late for the Jameson tour in Middleton.
Yeah.
But,
That's actually my mother's local. So
the Ford Pub, really?
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Tell him American Mike. He'll come back because I think I owe him a round. That's my
Yeah.
bad.
Well, you might see her in there next time, so I'll give her a heads up.
Yeah, that's a great pub. It's not on the tourist maps, but it is terrific. It's a really fun spot. A little dark during the day, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
I like
Just
it when
saying
people can't see what we're doing in there. That means it's a kind of place you want to be.
It is.
So now, when you go down here, obviously you're retired. You still have to pay the bills. Are you doing anything in addition to playing? Are you coaching? Are you doing any training, or is it all if you win this $1 million, you're all set?
No, I actually. What made it easy for me is that I had a couple of years left on my contract, but like I said, my knee was gone, and I couldn't consciously just ride the bench for the next 2 years on my contract. So came to the agreement with the owners of DCFC, who have been around nearly 10 years now, and they took care of me. They transferred my contract into like a front office deal. So I'm actually working in the front office with everyone in soccer operations, and I'm still part of the first team. I go to the practices most days of the week and I look after the guys. So this is just like my first major project within the club as my new role outside of playing. This is like, I mentioned it towards the end of last year. I pitched the idea to the owners. They started seeing the value in it and stuff like that, and then kind of took off from there. And then I'm like the point of contact when it comes to this stuff for our club, because we have the club press behind it. But there's a handful of guys that are helping me out with recruiting and all that stuff. So it's kind of a team effort around here, especially with the alumni guys that I have bringing in for this tournament coming up.
I was just gonna say, do you like recruiting? Do you like mentoring the younger players? What's that?
On the field, yeah, it's like when the guys are training and stuff like that. I was always a very vocal, very kind of on-field coach when I was playing, which is it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, because half the time I'm just talking to myself in games.
I was wondering what your style was like. Yeah.
Yeah, so I speak to myself in games out loud, and sometimes I say stuff I shouldn't say, and annoy people. But I am very like
Irish,
vocal.
Yeah, right?
Irish.
Well,
vocal,
hey,
whatever.
Roy Keane from Cork, one of the greatest footballers of all time.
Yeah.
I know. He's grew up with my dad. Him, Roy Keane, Dennis Irwin, players like that. But like I like helping the guys out. Like a lot of the guys, younger guys, come to me for advice about infield on game stuff. But recruiting is a new thing to me, because I always said when I finished soccer, I couldn't see myself being a coach, even though I do it like when I'm actually playing, because of I wanted my weekends back for me and my family, and if I stepped away from actually doing it as a job and then I had to like go coach every weekend for like other teams, it would be the same thing. I might as well just stay with my own team. But recruiting has been new to me. It's not been difficult, but it's been a new challenge of like how to speak to people, how to convince people to get on board in this, especially when it's like when everyone has like daily lives and families and jobs and stuff like that. So it's a different kind of recruiting. It's not like they're coming just to play soccer. It's like representing the club and our values and stuff like that. So it's a bit tricky, but we're getting there.
Well, you were recruited to come over here and play college soccer or college football.
Yeah.
I mean, so there must be a lot of similarities there. But when you got here, did you ever think that you would still be here all these years later, or was that the plan?
It was not the plan. Like the reason why I did come over was that I got released from Cork City at home at like 18, and I didn't really want to go to college anymore. But then something just popped up, and within a week I was already signed to go to like a college in America. So I was just coming over just to travel, got a free education, just to get out of Cork and see the world a bit. I wasn't planning on any of this to happen, and it just kept snowballing, and it didn't help. I met my wife the first week I got to America. So
oh wow, really?
There you go.
Yeah, so it's been.
I love a good love story.
It wasn't
First
a plan,
week.
but it worked out for the best.
How'd you guys meet? I want to
Must have
hear.
been a wild week.
I know.
Yeah,
That's a wild
it
week.
was. I actually, my first college was in Tennessee. It was like an hour outside Nashville, and there was about 7 or 8 Irish already on the team, and they were showing me around as soon as I got there. And my wife played for the women's team, and the women's and men's team were really, really close. And I just remember walking down the college street of where everyone lived, and she was on the driveway with her friends, and we just started chatting. And then, like a day or two later, we met at some opening ceremony for the year, and they just kind of hit it off from there.
Wow.
Aww, I love that.
She didn't like
You're
me
such
for a
a
while,
woman.
though. I just put my hand up. She hated me for about 2 months. She was like, "Who is this guy? Leave me alone."
That's how the best relationships start.
They usually
With
do,
hatred.
honestly.
With hatred. Yeah.
Yeah, she did not want a boyfriend at the time, and I was like, "Okay, that's fine. I'll get you."
Played hard to get.
I was going to say,
It's been 10 years now, so we're good.
Oh, I love that.
good-looking college athlete. The last thing you want to do is be strapped down to.
Oh, you're such a pig.
Well, I mean,
She didn't want to. He probably wasn't expecting that either. But hey,
The heart wants what it
No, it
wants.
wasn't. I watched all
Exactly.
the American college movies. I thought it was going to be something completely
Animal
different.
Wait, okay, so what were the American college, was it Animal House you were basing it on?
No, I mean like all the
Porky's?
American Pies and all this stuff. Like, I knew it was gonna be wild and all those like American party like college movies, Project X and all that kind of crap. So,
Project
I was expecting this big old party, but it never happened. I went to a really small college in the first place, so it was like there's only athletes at this college, so it wasn't anything, and there was no football team, so it was nothing what I expected at all.
Oh, wow.
well, Stephen, before we let you go, it sounds like you've been around long enough that you would have played against the Columbus Crew last time DCFC played the MLS. Is that right?
Yeah, we got a pretty decent record when it comes to MLS.
What was that experience like? Did you guys go on the road then, or did they come to Hamtramck?
They came here, which this field and this stadium is like the ultimate equalizer. It's really tough for away teams to come play. We find it tough after years and years of playing on it, but the last time we were there was electric. It was packed house. We brought them all the way to the end, and we end up beating them. So they were pretty annoyed with us the whole time, and that's what it's about: getting them in, making them uncomfortable, especially at Keyword. It's really, like I said, it's really hard to adjust to that atmosphere and that field and the whole stadium in general. So it is tough for them to come and get motivated to play against someone like us. And especially when we have like a decent reputation against MLS teams. Like last year, we went down to Houston, went down 2-3 times and ended up coming back and beating them on PKs, which is like another one that we should never win, especially away in the heat of Houston. So it's a tough place to come, and we're a tough team to play. So tonight should be good.
The thing I remember about that Crew game is I believe like right after that they cut their best player, Xardis, the center or the striker.
I mean, anyone could have got cut in that day. You could just tell like that, like they were struggling to get going. And I mean, that's not what you want to see.
He's a pretty good forward, though. I mean, who are some because as a defenseman, who are some of the best forwards and strikers that you've faced? Or the most annoying?
Well, yeah, regularly throughout the league, there's been a few, and because like the American soccer system is like, it's all about like being really athletic, so like I was always okay with bigger guys. I preferred it, but there was like a few guys, especially in our league, that are just absolute athletes. Like they would be Olympic sprinters if they weren't playing, and those guys kind of really kept me up at night. And there's a few around like with Birmingham. There's a few down in Tampa. There's a few guys around the place that you just don't want to come up against. And we actually have a couple on our team. Like one guy we have here is a Tess, and he's like probably 120 pounds, like just sticks for legs, and you just can't even get near him. Even if you try to be physical with him, he just brushes it off and rides the tackle and just keeps going. It's so annoying.
Well, I lived in Ireland in 1991, and Jack Charlton was the coach, and he said, put him under pressure. I think that's a great when you got the big team.
Sure, you sang a few of those songs in Ford's a few nights.
Yeah.
Those are the best songs ever when it comes to drinking in a pub in Ireland. Jackie Charlton.
Yeah, tough to go wrong. I'd even sing Neil Diamond in a pub in Ireland if I had to. I just want to be in a pub in Ireland.
They don't want you to.
No, they don't. Well, Stephen, great to see you. Good luck in North Carolina. Maybe we'll see you at Keyworth tonight. If there's any injuries, I'm going to bring my boots just in case.
I will too.
Pretty fierce left back. Let me know. But since you're doing recruiting. I work cheap.
I was,
Oh, please! I would love to see you get run around on the pitch. Yeah, you'd be embarrassed.
Especially by some women.
That'd be the only way the women would hit on me if they actually threw an elbow in my face. So I'll take love where I can find it. I'm like Steven, I'm just here to play some soccer, and here's some good-looking world-class athletes. Why don't I hook up with one? Not a bad plan.
No, not at all.
So Stephen Carroll will be playing for DCFC's 7-on-7, the TST Mixed Tournament, later on. We'll tell you in an upcoming episode how you can watch those games, and we'll tell you a little later in this episode how you can get a deal on tickets to watch Rouge here in Detroit. Great to see you, Stephen. We hope to have you back on again soon, and City Till We Die.
Yeah, thank you very much. Anytime.
That'll be a fun tournament, man.
Yeah, seriously.
I think so, too. I like that idea that your squad scores, the other squad scores, and if you both do well, $1 million. It's
$1 million.
It's crazy in the end.
He's still talking.
There's actually...
Oh, he's still here.
There's actually a target score. Sorry, there's a target score in the end. So if it's like going off of last year's game, I watched one of the girls play, and they were losing 4-0 against Wrexham. And then when it comes to target score, it's like 1st to 5. So the other team only had to score one more goal, and the game's over immediately. And they actually came back and won 5-4. But after a while, you actually drop a player, so they end up become 2v2 in the end of the game if they haven't hit the target score yet. So it's very active, very high energy.
That's intense,
yeah, intense, yeah.
Is this a full-size pitch, or is it smaller?
It's smaller. It's a 7v7 size.
Yeah, I was going to say 2-on-2. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
That'd be killer at the end. Cool. Well, hey, thanks, Stephen. Are you going to be at Keyworth tonight?
I will.
Okay.
I'll be at everyone.
We'll probably see you on the sidelines then. We're going to have a crew coming down. Okay. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Cool cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, very.
How
I like how you inserted yourself into Ireland, by the way.
No,
Always.
but hey, man, I'm asking a good-looking soccer player what bars to go to. Who's going to know better than this guy? But how coincidental is it that pub is his mom's?
I know.
That's pretty
cool. That was.
And that's an interesting neighborhood.
You're really excited to go back there.
I mean, I keep thinking about
go there now.
What am I going to do when I'm retired? And I already know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go to pubs.
You drunk and become an alcoholic?
No, the thing is, depending on what time of year you go, you can go and watch a cricket match. That'll take you a week. They score like 1,000 points, and it takes them a month to do it. So you can stay engaged. When
are you going over there? Are you going soon?
Friday, May 1st.
Weren't you just there?
I know.
Last summer.
I feel like that was just. Oh.
Yeah, that was.
I
was in
gone.
Germany in October. I was gone in October. So I was.
Okay.
I was
I
gone.
mean, it's hard to keep
recently.
up with your travel schedule.
Yeah.
But, this year I'm burning it up, man. We're doing Well, I already did Quebec City. That was great. I'm going to do Ireland, Denmark, and Iceland. Then we're going to do Italy. And then we're doing Oktoberfest again. And then I don't know what I'm going to do at the end of the year. But
All right. Wow. Must be nice.
hey, when you're old, you get 5 weeks vacation. I'm like, the kids are out of college. Emily's actually,
I know, man.
I would do
Emily's
it too.
actually paying me now
Does your
because she owed me for her master's degree. So I actually have money coming in from my kids, which is never happened in 25 years. So now I'm like,
wow,
now I'm getting the hell out of here.
There you go. Does your itinerary revolve around pubs and drinking? What pubs you can get to?
No,
Serious
because
question.
Teresa's itinerary, especially when she's with the girls, involves around going into shops.
Oh, God.
And while they're in a shop, I can either get upset
or go to a pub.
Or I can walk into a pub.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
I just go into a pub. It's easier.
Then they can take as long as they want, right?
They can buy everything they want, and it can cost dozens or hundreds of euros. I can buy everything I want, and it's about $20 because it's maybe 3 pints, a bag of crisps, and
Well, tell me more about DCFC in the sales pitch, and then I want to tell you about my Aventura a la Puerto Rico.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
It was quite a thing.
It's Tuesday afternoon if you're hearing this, but if you can join me tonight at Keyworth for the big game against the Chicago Fire, go to debtcityfc.com/tickets and enter promo code SOUL. That's SOUL, not the fish. It's SOUL. At checkout.
That's what everyone was thinking.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
seriously.
Oh, well, we just got through Lent, so everybody's eating sole and Ruffy and all that other shit, except me. And you can get 15% off tickets to tonight's Chicago Fire match. Go to promo code SOUL at checkout, Detroit, debtcityfc.com. We'll have a link to their website on our website, which is mlsolvedetroit.com. Hope to see you there. If you get there early, meet me at Bumbo's, and
it's a meet and greet.
And we'll buy each other a beer.
Oh, by each other.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you get the first
He's
round.
trying to get free beer.
You
get the first round. If I'm still there, you
and
find
then
me.
You
I'll
disappear.
I'll get the second one.
An Irish goodbye.
That's it. Just like at Ford's Pub in Cork. And
Exactly.
that pub really does have a sign that says no stolen goods inside this bar. I was like, where are we going? But it was super great place. A couple upcoming events at Keyworth. May 2nd, Louisville FC is coming to Keyworth at 6 o'clock. This will be nationally broadcast on the CBS Sports Network, but it's better to be there in person. The Northern Guard, the cheap beers, the great atmosphere. And it's going to be May. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be like today. DCFC is currently third in the Eastern Conference, so they're doing okay. The USL Women's League starts in May on the 16th at Keyworth, so check that out. To find out everything DCFC, go to debtcityfc.com. And again, you can find their link on our website, which is mlsolvedetroit.com. So Mark, you're back.
Well, I was going to say, in all your world travels, have you ever visited a hospital in another country?
No. I don't want to.
Not willingly.
Xenophobic of you. Well, so when I was in high school, I contracted.
I don't want to have to, I guess I should say.
No, you don't,
Yeah.
because it fucking sucks. When I was in high school, I got poison ivy the day before the Spanish club went over to Spain. And if you know anything about poison ivy, it develops a little slowly. Mm-hmm. So within about 4 days, I was just covered, and I couldn't bend my arm. So
what were you doing? Rolling around in poison ivy?
It was a field party the day before we left. So yeah.
Oh boy.
No, I was doing things I shouldn't have done, so maybe it's the right penalty.
Good Catholic boy.
So I went to a hospital in Barcelona. My memory of that is not being able to speak much Spanish.
Yeah.
The lady just going,
Yo soy ouchie.
She just goes, George, down. And just gave me a shot of what I have no idea, which is crazy to me that it's like, I don't know what this medicine is. Just shoot it in my butt. Didn't do a single thing. So the poison ivy got worse. We ended up in Sevilla. It was the World's Fairs going on. They had doctors from North America because apparently they don't have poison ivy in Europe.
Really?
Or couldn't recognize it. It wasn't common for Barcelona. And these North American doctors, I think he's Canadian, was like, that's poison ivy. Here's the script. And took the medicine. It was gone within a day. So very traumatic.
Canadian medicine.
Scarring moment for me. So
well,
we
the first time you told me that story, you said, when I was in high school, I went to Barcelona. A woman told me to take my pants down. It was a lot more exciting.
I wish.
Until I realized you were covered with a rash.
The other thing I remember about Barcelona was we all went to a bar. And we're like 16, 15, and 16, which is ridiculous. And then it's like, 16, I'm going to a bar, and now I'm like, well, that bar must have been so annoyed that these punk ass kids from America are coming in,
like other people, these little turds walking.
Exactly.
In.
Oh, we were total turds.
They just wanted that U.S. currency, man. They wanted that greenback.
So we this past Thursday we go to Puerto Rico. Took the family, went with another family down there, and first day we did all of San Juan, Old Town, beautiful city. I don't know if you guys have ever been there.
I have not.
Have you ever been there, Alric?
I've never been to Puerto Rico.
It's fantastic. It's a gorgeous island. People are excellent. I did have a problem with this is a total first world problem. The resort needs more staffers because you had to wait an hour and a half for anything. It's just, and then I've come to find out with my intrepid reporting and talking to Uber drivers, after Hurricane Maria, so many people left the east side of the island that they just don't have the employees.
Okay, that makes sense.
So we get back the second day.
Did you get hit by flying paper towels?
No, I asked the Uber driver. I go, but you got some paper towels, right? When Trump came, and he got so mad. I'm just joking. And he's like, no, I know you are, but fuck that guy. He's just going off on him. I didn't mean to get this deep, but whatever.
Now, he doesn't want to make them the 51st state. That's unfortunate. That might be a good thing for Puerto Rico.
Maybe. So the next day, our littlest one, whose birthday is today, by the way, she's 8.
Aww.
Happy birthday, Annie.
Sorry
for some of the language when Sean's on the show.
Started complaining, but she's like, my throat doesn't hurt, my ears don't hurt, nothing really hurts. So we're like, well, let's just take her temperature.
Was it poison ivy?
102.5 degree temperature, like sky high temp. 4 days go by of just a high fever every day.
Oh, 4 days?
4 days. So on last Monday, it was like Championship Monday. I was like, we got to get to a hospital and we got to go right away. And I got to tell you, not the quickest place in the world, the Puerto Rican hospital.
Worse than here?
Yes. Yeah. No, they don't really have like urgent cares or doctors. They're like, yeah, you just go to the hospital and they'll take care of you. I'm like, okay. But, when it's your kid, you don't even think about the cost or any of that. You got to go fix it. And there's a picture of her, by the way, in the waiting room.
Oh, damn.
Look how sad she is. Wow. So we're there, and, it's just the people, once again, very nice, but just took forever. But the one thing and I would describe, by the way, the hospital as like, think of a bus station that they just decided to put some doctors in. It's not not the nicest of buildings. So we go and they check her out and they're just like, yeah, it's a virus. We don't really know what to do. Just keep giving her Tylenol and Motrin.
So totally
pointless. Just kind of a pointless
waste
trip.
of your time.
But my favorite part was, I'm like, okay, we're being discharged now. They say, yeah. I go, okay, where do I go? Like, leave? Just exit? I don't know. I'm like, wait, I don't have to talk to anybody? Because, when you get discharged from an ER or a hospital, it's just mountains of paperwork. I'm like, no.
Going to CVS and buying something, there's mountains of paperwork. Yeah, it just keeps pouring out of the receipt.
So, and I knew they had my ID and they took the insurance card. I don't know why. But they're like, yeah, just leave. And so I stopped by this desk. I'm like, do I owe anything? They're like, like, what? They're like, yeah, we don't know. It's not how it works down here. I'm like, okay, see you later. So I have no idea.
You have no idea what your bill
if
might
I'm going to
be?
get a bill. Is it going to be $150? Is it going to be $15,000? I have zero idea, but I had to spend that whole day in a hospital. It was kind of fun, though. Everything's in Spanish. There's no English in that hospital. And every once in a while, they'd be like, Michael Jackson. But I'm like, what, Michael Jackson? There was another patient there named Michael Jackson. And every time they said it,
you kept him away from your kids, right?
It really kind of joined everybody because every time they said Michael Jackson, the whole waiting room laughed at the guy. They just laughed out loud like, oh, no. That guy's parents named him Michael Jackson.
Well, that's like an Office Space with Michael Bolton, right? He's
right,
like, why should I have to change my name?
Yeah.
What do you call him, the ass clown? Or he said something about Michael Bolton. He was
I can't remember.
No talent ass clown or something. And I was watching a little documentary on Office Space, and he said when Michael Bolton, the singer, first heard that, he's like, no talent ass clown. Who is this guy? And after a while, people start saying, hey, no talent ass clown. And Michael Bolton, the singer's like, yes, that's me.
He's got a pretty good
came
sense
to
of
embrace
humor.
it. Well, he had to with that hair.
Yeah.
Those videos he made.
Oh, well, the Lonely Island stuff, and then he did like a Christmas special where
Yeah,
he's kind of poking fun at it. So
I mean, he's got some sweet pipes, and I guess he's a pretty good softball player. So if you're successful, you're talented.
That's so random.
Well, he's known as when they tour, they play like media teams in softball, and when they go to town, they look for a softball game. They're like really into it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, kind of. Okay, that's fine. But I mean, he's successful. He had the goofy mullet with, it's not like a 1090. It was like a 199. Yeah, and he had everything you ever want. So why not laugh at it? Why not enjoy it? Just like last laughs on you guys. I'm rich as hell.
I was gonna say, I think they're all jealous.
So I did tell my daughter.
I tell myself that all the time. People go, "No, you're just a dick."
On the way to the hospital, I said, "There's one good positive thing about this, Annie. Even if you don't get better, is that we're gonna have a story to tell because both of us now have been to Spanish hospitals in other countries.
You've been to the bus station,
with mysterious afflictions.
I've gotten shots, so that's why I made her take a picture by the emergency sign. Look how happy she is. Poor thing had 103-degree fever when we were there too. So
damn,
and they
not
did
much sleep on vacation. What's that?
And they just did nothing.
They did zero.
Well, it is.
And so then we get the plane lands, and I'm like, we're going to urgent care right away because she still had a fever. I mean, you're going on 6 days now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That guy immediately just looks at it and goes,
Ebola.
It's an ear infection.
Oh.
We'll give you some amoxicillin.
Oh, jeez.
Motherfuckers, man, if they just, they never use an otoscope to look in her ear down
So
there.
what did they even do?
They tried to draw her blood 3 times. Poor thing got poked. Like, both hands, both arms 3 times.
But they didn't look at her eyes and throat and ears?
They ran, no. Well, he looked in her mouth because he's like, it's viral. It's not hand, foot, and mouth. It's nothing bacterial.
How did they determine it was viral?
Because apparently, this is all things I'm not a doctor, but things I'm learning is if you have these little small blisters in your mouth, it's a viral attack as opposed to it's just the way the blister looks inside your mouth.
Yeah, but can't the viral attack be a symptom of something else too? Your body reacting to something else?
Those mouth blisters are. It's basically her immune system was so low at that point.
That's what I'm saying,
that it was then attacking the mouth. And then she couldn't eat until about yesterday.
Oh,
just a ton of shit. So that was the vacation. Was a lot of worrying about. Oh my God, is this fever going to break? Is it not going to break? But
yeah.
Well, at least she didn't have to sit through that miserable UConn-Michigan game.
We did make the good thing is we did make it back in time to watch every second of that game. And you're not going to believe this. Large contingent of Michigan people at the resort because we're everywhere. There's just legions of us. So
yeah, just like that bacteria, you're everywhere.
Oh,
and just
God,
welcome.
You are so petty. Boy, that really chaps your ass that they won, huh?
Yeah, it really does.
I don't like to think of it as they won. I like to think of it as UConn lost. The UConn team that Michigan State almost beat. So we're kind of like
Why can't it just be,
cool. Why don't you guys put a banner up then? The UConn team we almost beat.
Well, at least we won't have to take it down like the Fab Five.
We're in Michigan. We can support...
No, he can't. He can't get past
you
his
can.
pettiness.
I mean, it's so deep.
I was pulling for the Western Michigan Broncos in that Frozen Four. I thought, no, they didn't make the Frozen Four. Damn it!
You are incredibly petty.
Anyways, go DCFC. We can all agree on that. I think we're good there.
Wait, I do want to know this. Were you really rooting against Michigan?
Who does that?
I didn't take an active role in the.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second.
I was delighted that the
Wolverine
hockey team lost in double overtime in the Frozen Four, and I would not have been happy if UConn won.
Why don't you think of your
because
friend?
I think UConn is evil, but when two evil forces come together, I don't know who to cheer for.
There's your problem. You view them as evil.
To me, this is like the Iran-Iraq war. It's like, wait a minute, who am I going to cheer for?
Well, I had a great night, so I'm glad you're concerned about my happiness and joy.
At the La Salada Emercia.
Yeah.
Emercia.
Well, that part wasn't fun, but back at the El Conquistador, it was great.
Well, you wonder about the cost of healthcare here because when I was in Ireland maybe a couple years ago with a friend of mine, he had an infection. Mm-hmm. We went to some local clinic. They looked at him right away. They sent him to the pharmacist, the chemist, right away. I think the whole thing cost him like $50. I'm like, wait a minute, we pay
right away.
We pay $50 for a copay, and here you are getting seen by a medical professional and given medication, and it's less than $100. I'm like, what are we doing wrong over here?
Every story's different, though. I had a buddy that lived in London for 3 years, and he's like, it's great in theory, but in practice, he's like, we had to buy private insurance because you just couldn't get seen for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wait time.
Yeah. And there's got to be a nice medium between the two, but what do I know?
What do you
I'm
know?
an idiot.
I guess not Spanish.
Oh, man, the geeks have inherited the earth.
Did I do that?
What a dork.
Does him wanting to play with us again mean that he's turning into a geek, or we're turning into cool guys?
Well, it was great to have Erika back with us. She's going to hit the streets with Local 4, breaking the big stories. Sean can't be with us today once again.
Because I am, Sean. We're never in the same room.
That's right.
Putting more fuel on the fire. The conspiracy theory is impossible to debunk. At least we know that Erika and Stephen Carroll aren't the same person. And by extension, Sean and Stephen Carroll aren't the same person. So, but we'll have to.
What are you working on?
Ooh, I'm trying to
say it's so deep.
Well, I just did that story with that wrestling kid in Fowlerville.
Oh, what's the story? What happened?
You heard of bleeders? This guy was a leaker.
Yeah, this he was 14 when it happened in January, and he's on the wrestling team. And this other kid, it's kind of a, I guess, alleged hazing incident, and this other kid peed on him in the shower, and the urine got into his mouth. This is according to his mom.
Wait, how did it get in his mouth?
Because he was standing on this upper area in the showers and was standing above him.
This
and
must have been a high ceiling.
Yeah,
it's probably a cinder block wall, and I'm just based on all the times I was peed on by wrestlers in high school.
Well,
it's similar.
I was gonna say I wrestled, and I mean we had hazing worse than this.
Baby elephant walk?
I guess.
No, not like that. But there was. I mean, in the showers there was urination.
Urine,
but not in the mouth. No, not in the mouth. That's why I can't figure out how it got up there.
Yeah, he was on his head.
Okay?
If you were
his mouth.
above, I mean, gravity.
Is he
But
sick?
I think the main issue is he said something, and then they kept. This is what his mom
Let me
says.
guess. The school did nothing. Is that part of the problem?
Yeah, and I guess the coach was trying to do something, and the coach had been coaching for 37 years, and he.
Isn't that how these things usually work? The
he
powers,
resigned.
The powers tend to just minimize something, and then that really becomes the story because they don't.
That's the main issue.
They don't
at
take
this
the
point.
concerns with any level of appropriateness.
So I've had a lot of people come forward since then. So I'm trying to work on something. They reopened the investigation, which I didn't even know it was closed because I can't seem to get a straight answer from the district.
Why is it so
I'm
hard
also learning
to do the right thing?
I'm also learning the kid who is the alleged urinator is an older sophomore, and so is that kid's
as in held back
brother.
Well,
again, I can't confirm. I mean, I can't. I can't.
Does that matter?
Well, it may be because he's a troublemaker, when I was in elementary school, there was a kid who was held back, who was the toughest kid in the school.
Was he held back
by a few years?
Oh, so he is troubled.
Okay.
Allegedly.
But working to confirm
story.
some of these details, and then I've also heard some other things from.
Cool, you're on the urine beat. And on that note,
a break from some of the
other
perverts on my timeline.
Oh, really?
Alleged.
Yeah,
alleged.
Still on the continuum, but not quite as robust as some of the other malfactors. Well, Erika will be breaking that story and more at Channel 4, so keep an eye on her. Great to see you again.
Good to see you guys. Hopefully I'll be back next time when me and Sean can be in the same room.
Never.
I've been told that's physically impossible. Something about Schrodinger's cat, but we'll see. It'll be a quantum physics experience exclusive to those of you here at Soul Detroit. And of course, if you're a soulmate, you'll know whether they're both here because you can see them. It won't be like some voice trick or something like that. Soulmates for as little as $5 a month. get to watch the show as well as listen. You get it before everybody else. You get our bonus episode. We have a bonus episode we got to get going in April, and you also will get some VIP treatment if we get another function going. Maybe we'll do another Soul Night. That's to be determined. We're just trying to get through the spring before we get to all the summer fun. But
I know you're traveling.
Well, maybe you win a trip with me to Ford's Pub in Cork. It really is a great time. You, of course, can get the first round and the airfare. So it'll be a great time.
They have to go with you?
We'll stay at my cousin's. I think he's got a barn.
Oh, okay.
We'll crash out there. But that's going to require some planning. And we're not all good at planning, but I'll tell you who is. Luke, Zach, and Nick over at Pinnacle Wealth Strategies. In fact, I just set up my Roth IRA for my wife and I at Pinnacle Wealth Strategies. Super easy, and looking forward to watching that grow as we shrink, because when you get older, you shrink, but your bills never seem to shrink. Mm-hmm. And so you want to have a plan. Kathy Ireland, unlike me, has never spoken to Luke Nowacki. Actually, now that I think about it, every celebrity that has gone broke has never spoken to Luke Nowacki. Could be a coincidence. I can't say for sure. Maybe you shouldn't take that chance. Call or text Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748. That's 248-663-4748. Who knows? Maybe you can find a way to get your own Champions Club tickets so that you're not trying to weasel them from Drew like some people we know. And whatever you do, when you call Luke, you know this much will happen. He'll make it all about you, sweetheart.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through
Mosaic Wealth.
Inc. member FINRA-SIPC.
Mosaic Wealth.
Inc. is separately owned, and other entities and or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent.
Mosaic Wealth.
Inc.
All right.
So I was going to say my geek of the week should be shower pissers. That's not cool. I mean, I know George Costanza said they're all pipes, but it's still, there's a different receptacle in the changing area for you to urinate. But my geek of the week is a guy who's delivered a message that it's tough to argue with, but he does it in such a matter-of-fact way, it's almost off-putting. And that's Mike Slater. Do you know this guy, Mark?
I've never heard of that person.
So you're a father. You have responsibilities. You're a husband. Do you have life insurance?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's what you do in case something happens to you. Well, Mike Slater's the guy who does he's a podcast. I've never heard of his podcast, but it's not in the top 0.5% of all podcasts in the world, like Soul of Detroit. But he does this very deadpan commercial for Ethos, which is a life insurance program where he goes he talks about how his dad died when he was 63 and he left because he had life insurance he provided for his wife and by extension for Mike Slater and his brothers. And his tagline is, "We don't like to talk about death. I'm going to die. You're going to die. We're all going to die. So get life insurance." I'm like,
well, that's not a bad message.
But it's just sort of like, yeah, you're going to die. I'm going to die. We're all going to die.
Oh, I mean, You want him to lie to you? You could be immortal, but might not have life insurance?
Well, I kind of knew we're all going to die, but I mean, it's just sort of get over it.
I have a
clock's ticking.
I have a geek of the week.
Get this insurance.
And I actually want to ask your opinion about this. Eric Swalwell. Have you ever seen a politician fall as fast as Eric Swalwell has? This guy, a week ago, is leading the Democratic primary for governor of California. Former staffers come forward, one accusing him of rape, the other accusing him of some kind of assault, two others accusing him of dick pics or just hitting on them, and then his team comes out and it's like, yeah, that guy's bad, which means they've heard stories and known all along. So, he drops out of the race for governor, I think 2 days later, and then yesterday just says, yeah, I'm not going to be a congressman anymore. I think that hit on Friday, and here it is Tuesday. Boom, 4 days, the guy's gone. Have you seen a quicker fall from grace for a politician?
I mean, I would say Clinton in 1992, but he pulled out of the dive, and I guess you could say Trump with the grabbed him by the P word video.
He's president,
but he pulled out of the dive. Yeah,
this guy's nothing now.
No, the thing about Swalwell, and we should be clear, these are just allegations. Nothing's been proven. He says they're false. But one of the things about he has said he's made mistakes in between him and his wife,
and he is under investigation for the rape.
I know, but
I'm just saying,
being under investigation isn't the same as being convicted. It's certainly not insignificant.
I agree. He didn't get fired though; he stepped down. So a lot of smoke.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing that struck me about Swalwell, who I think was the front runner and was probably odds-on favorite to become the next governor of California and leader of what I think is the fourth largest economy in the world.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I mean, pretty big job.
Yeah.
He ran for president, and this case that the Manhattan DA is investigating, I think, happened in 2024. So this would have been before he ran for president, or at least was, he wasn't really a serious candidate for president. I don't think his campaign lasted very long. But one of the things that amazes me, and we'll let the investigation run its course, but when I was thinking about the Swalwell thing is, here's a guy who has built his reputation on attacking Trump, and who goes on and talks about, this guy, he's not a righteous man, he's not a decent man, he's amoral and all this other stuff. And I think we are safe to assume, based on what Swalwell has said, is that he's probably gotten a little frisky with the ladies and it betrayed his marriage vows and maybe not been a good boss. But my goodness, you're out there calling somebody out, and there's with Clinton, they called them bimbo eruptions. Like when Jessica Flowers came up, this was I hesitate to the Chanteuse. I mean, she sang at a bar in Little Rock. It's not like she was friggin' Billie Holiday or something. But when that came out, his campaign manager or chief of staff, I think when he was governor at the time, was famously quoted as saying, we're always waiting for the next bimbo eruption. Mm-hmm. If you're aware that there's even a possibility of bimbo eruptions, how are you getting out there on your hind legs and braying that this other person doesn't treat women right? I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
The hubris.
And we had a congressman in New Hampshire, and this is true. His name was Dick Sweat, and it's unfortunate. But we were talking about being a candidate, and this is something I took to heart when I was a candidate. He said, you do opposition research on the other guy to see what their problems might be.
They had to.
And then you do opposition research on yourself if you have enough money to do it. And I said, what do you do if you find out something bad about yourself? He said, well, you try and get in front of it. That's the best move. Well, you hope the other guy doesn't find out.
Well, Swalwell tried, but boy, did that backfire right in his face, and good.
Well, I mean, when I ran for city council, which certainly doesn't have the scrutiny of running for governor or president, I hired Scott Lewis to do a background check on me. I knew there was nothing there, but I wanted to see what was going to come up, because sometimes things come up that people try and twist.
Did he find anything that you were like, oh, I forgot that I was pulled over in 1988?
No, I mean, I was clean, but it's just one of those things where you want to know what comes up. Like there are services out there where you can run a check on somebody, and it will flag some stuff for you. So there was a guy running for, I think, Congress one time, and his opponent was saying, why did he get arrested in Virginia? Why don't you ask him why he got arrested in Virginia? Why do we know about that? And I tracked it down, and what it was is he wasn't arrested. There was a bench warrant out there because he hadn't paid tolls.
Oh my God!
So his opponent was trying to turn that into, why was the Virginia police after him? This is the kind of thing that comes up when you do a background check, and it looks on paper like, my God, and when you track it down, like, why was he sued? Why did his landlord sue him 15 times? Well, because he lived in a big development, and every time your rent's 1 day late, they automatically file an eviction suit against you. It doesn't mean that you're a deadbeat. These are the kind of things you want to find when you do your own background check, because you don't know how somebody's going to twist them, and you need to be able to rapidly respond and counterpunch. This guy, apparently, it was all hanging out there. He wasn't ready, and I think for that reason alone, he could be a pretty good Geek of the Week.
There's an all-night party in room 7609. And you can dance together all night if you've got the time.
Welcome to Room 7609, where we try and, expose you to some great new music or some fantastic stories. And Room 7609 is brought to you by the Caju Cafe. A lot of great stuff going on at the Caju tonight. If you're not going to be in Hamtramck, why not check out Gabe Gonzalez, Gonzilla and Friends? That's an open jam. Wednesday is karaoke, the longest-running karaoke night in Detroit. Thursday, it's a jazz jam with the Bill Meyer Group, the Detroit's longest-running jam session. Friday, Sonic Sovereign and Quinlan Maurer. Saturday, Indy Gwynn and the Ethan Mark Band. Sunday, Motor City Josh Big Band, Big Al and the Heavyweights. On a Monday, Tasha Owens and the Stable Dudes Open Jam. And, of course, it's Muscle Madness. All-you-can-eat mussels, of course. There's feather bowling. There's great food, great music, great times at the Caju Cafe. Find out more at cajucafe.com. And I imagine sometime this summer, the Smiths United will be performing there. And they're one of the favorite local bands of my buddy Kevin Tucker and I, who also is a Morrissey fan. If you like the Smiths, you tend to like Morrissey. And Kevin sends us a great story. He says, Morrissey recently released Makeup is a Lie, his first album in 6 years. At first, I thought that would be reason enough to submit a song from it for Room 7609, as it would be the first Morrissey album since Soul of Detroit began. However, it turns out the show began just before Morrissey's last release in 2020. But I'm going to submit it anyways, because this is Morrissey's best song in years, and it shows, even with all the controversies and cancellations, he can still deliver. This was a co-write with longtime collaborator and guitarist Alan White, their first music together in 17 years. Keep up the great work, and welcome back, Mr. Windsor. So, who is not here unless he was.
There he is. Just an empty seat.
I found myself in Paris. She sat in mournful silence. By midnight came an outburst. So much louder than a cloudburst. She said, makeup is a lie. Oh, makeup is a lie. Oh, makeup is a lie. Is a lie. I soon returned to Paris. To the garret of the poet. In her mind of blank reclusion. Until the same explosion. Makeup is a lie. Oh, makeup is a lie. Oh, makeup is a lie. Oh, makeup is a lie. 10 years passed in boredom. I made my way to Paris. To stand before her gravestone. I read the words in granite.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Makeup is a lie. Oh, makeup is a lie. Makeup is a lie. Makeup is a lie. Oh, makeup is a lie. Makeup is a lie. Oh, makeup is a lie. Makeup is a lie. Makeup is a lie. Oh, makeup is a lie.
Starting to think makeup is a lie.
Yeah, I mean, just it's kind of driven it
It's
home.
It's not a bad song though.
No, and it's fitting that he sings this, or he says he went to Paris, because it has that very chanson française feeling where it's like French cabaret music, where it's this slow, languorous, seductive delivery, and it's there's a whole genre of music. The French have tried rock and roll, and they just Johnny Hallyday, whatever. It doesn't really go anywhere. He's the Elvis of France, by the way. Lived a lot longer than Elvis, which is a shame, because Elvis packed a lot of talent into his 42 years. Johnny Hallyday stretched his itty bit of talent out for like 89 years, and now his kid's trying to do it. But anyway, that's not why we're here. But there's this cabaret, this chansons d'amour, love songs that are very languid and seductive. And I think for a guy who was celibate for a long time, Morrissey's kind of caught some of that bug. So yeah, it's a pretty good tune.
As a Morrissey superfan, you approve?
I wouldn't say I'm a super fan, but I really like it, and it reminds me I need to go back and listen to more of his new stuff, because he really is good. He really tells. I'm not sure that this is one of the great stories he's told, but he's a good storyteller, and his band is great. Alan White, a longtime collaborator, as Kevin pointed out. I'm trying to think if it was Alan White or one of the other guys in his band when early in Morrissey's solo career he came out with this song called the National Front Disco, which was making fun of all the skinheads. And this guy in his band, I think it was Alan White, said, "Are you trying to get us killed here? What are we doing? We're making fun of these skinheads? We're in a band, we're the skinny little guys from Manchester, and I'm not sure that Morrissey's going to hold his own in a scrap, although he's actually a pretty big guy. So no, I think that's a great choice, and it gets us back to our new wave roots. So thank you, Kevin. Please send in your songs. Please send in your stories that go with the songs. A better story in a mediocre song is better than a great song with a mediocre story, but we'll take both. And you can send them to us at mlsoulofdetroit@gmail.com. That's also where we want to get your feedback, and we have a little feedback we're going to share with you. Cue the sweet-ass Max Pro Cop music bed, because we do have a new soulmate.
All right.
And a new benefactor. Really? Yes. Miguel Cantu sent us a one-time donation, which you can do by going to our website.
Gracias.
Click in the PayPal or the Venmo. Help pay for Mark's exorbitant medical bills from Puerto Rico. You may have heard earlier in the show.
You know what they listen to in Puerto Rico, by the way? A lot of Bad Bunny.
Ricky Martin?
A ton of Bad Bunny.
Well, he's Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah. He's from there. And it's funny when you listen to it at the pool or at the beach. It's good ambiance. But it was like, after a while, I'm like, I think that's the same song I've heard 15 times already.
Oh, shit. So I haven't really heard that much Bad Bunny.
Don't get me wrong. I had a good time. It was fine. It was just, it was a lot. Let's just put it that way.
Did you catch Jack White and Jack Black on Saturday Night Live, by the way?
I love Jack White.
Yeah. And Jack Black is great, too.
Yeah, but it's really interesting, because usually when I see somebody on SNL, maybe I don't know a lot of their catalog.
Yeah.
And then they'll play a new song, and I'm like, well, what about the song that I know? And Jack played 2 brand new songs, which is pretty wild for an artist to do that. And I love both of them. I thought both of them were really, really good.
And he'll be at Pine Knob later this summer. First time ever. So I
can't get tickets. I was blocked out.
What?
Yeah, the first sale goes to the people that are part of the Third Man Vault, but that's I don't belong to that because that's expensive. But but they snatched up all the it's a pretty hot show already.
Okay, the show I'm looking forward to this summer.
What's that?
Triumph. They're coming to Freedom Hill
every year.
Fighting the good fights. So thank you, Miguel. We appreciate your support. And he says, along with his contribution, this is to help finance ML's numerous trips to Ireland.
There you go.
So Miguel.
Did he really say that?
Yes, he did. He's clearly a long-time listener to the show, and actually
world traveler. Now
predicting future events, but it's true. I will be going back. We have a new soulmate. Randy Hutchings has become a soulmate. This is great, folks, because we do have the Cajus back. And we have DCFC supporting us for a while. We don't know how long these guys will be with us. They come and go. But if you're with us every week, we appreciate that. We have been around for 350 episodes, not counting the bonuses. Just $5 a month helps keep us coming back. And also, we kind of appreciate the show of support. So thank you very much to those of you who are soulmates. And Randy, welcome. We won't even play the South Park drop because that'd be inappropriate.
Totally forgot about it. Yeah. Now I want to play it.
Glad we mentioned it. We have a little feedback. Ron Man says, "Hey, Mr. Elric, how are you feeling with your message in the run-up to the election being that everything would be fine no matter who won? I had to check out of your show then, but I respect you as a journalist, and I believe that you are a good guy."
Wait, what did you allegedly say? I don't remember you saying.
I can't remember whether this was the mayoral. Oh shit!
Yeah,
wait a minute.
What election are we talking about?
This message. What? This message looks like it's from February of 2025. Wait a minute. I'm wondering if I just pulled up an old one. But yeah, no, this is an old one. Anyways,
it's all right.
Hopefully Ron's back. Ron, if you're listening to us again, send us some new feedback. But what do I think about the election? I think America's going to change their mind in 2026.
We're still here.
I think
we'll live.
So a lot of people thought that George W. Bush, the shrub, was going to destroy America with a ill-considered incursion into the Middle East. And we survived that, although we paid for it for a long time. People died. We spent a lot of money that could have gone to other things, like maybe fixing our infrastructure.
Yep.
Is history repeating itself? I guess we'll see. But I think Mark's right. We will live. The question is, do we want to thrive or do we want to just get by? So
Sure.
So pay attention, folks, and vote. We want you to vote. Mail in person, whatever. We want you to vote. Cast your vote. Be heard. The number of people who told me, I support you for city council, but didn't vote, it really does matter. And if you support somebody, you got to kind of pull the lever.
Yeah.
So
vote early and often. What?
Is it Chicago? Just vote once. Just
one
time. Yeah. But early's fine. Although, I don't know about these people who vote a month early. So much shit happens. What if you cast an absentee ballot for Eric Swalwell? You can spoil your ballot, by the way.
Sure.
And re-vote, but most people aren't going to do that.
Yeah, no one's going to do that.
To me, if you're like
some
me,
people would say it's one vote, so who cares anyway?
If you're like me, you go into the ballot box with your hand shaking, trying to figure out what you're going to do. But you should go as informed as possible. But we just had an election last year. I think in Macomb County where they had a coin toss. That's how much your vote counts. If it's a tie, come on now. You don't want to leave it to chance. William writes us, and his email, I'm only going to give you a part of it, is Soccer Dad. So he says, how was Rory McIlroy ditching 3 PGA Tour events to practice on hyper-exclusive Augusta every day for a month before the Masters? How's that not cheating? NASCAR and F1 don't let drivers practice on a track weeks before an event for obvious reasons. Or imagine the outrage if the Ford family let the University of Michigan basketball team practice at Ford Field for a month before next year's March Madness tournament. I think Dusty May said, we'll see you in Detroit. He shit on 3 other tour events he skipped, one of which is dedicated to a local children's hospital. He also previously smeared his LIV tour peers as traitors or traitors for not wanting to be forced to play low-prestige events week in, week out. But solely thanks to LIV competition, the PGA now grants players like Rory the latitude to skip events. I think they stacked the decks so the smug midget could repeat.
Ooh.
Some reason they watered the greens for him mid-round so he could... same reason they watered the grounds for him mid-round so he could spray his shots and maintain his early lead. Last year, he was busted winning with an illegal driver, which we only know about because it leaked weeks later. I will never understand how anyone likes this phony, cheating douchebag. Ashamed of being Irish, born low-rung in Ireland, but says he's British. Serially cheats on his wife, including with the CBS golf bimbo. I don't know about that. The over-the-top fawning for this fraud by PGA, CBS, and Augusta is totally nauseating. Video audio of Rory bragging during and after tourney, Augusta feeling like a home curse because he used his private jet to get 500 hours of reps on it in March and early April. And he's got some links to these stories.
I think it's pretty simple. He brings eyeballs.
It's golf. I don't care.
Well, no, but I mean, people do. But I know who Rory McIlroy is, and I don't follow golf. It's kind of like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is an asshole, and they let him do whatever he wanted because it brought more eyes to the game, right?
Well, they say that he's the new Tiger. He's the icon to replace Tiger.
Sometimes a heel is good, right? You don't want to enjoy every athlete. Sometimes it's good to have people to root against.
ask wrestling.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the heels, I mean, come on.
Oh, and there's plenty of athletes I don't like, and I like rooting against them. That's what makes sports fun. I'm never going to be like, I could make that shot because they're like the best athletes in the world, but still, I want certain athletes to fail.
Me too. They're named Yexel, but I think he'll be all right because he really is the best player in college basketball.
I think you should watch
that.
What was it called? The Road to March or whatever, the Paramount Plus documentary behind the scenes. Very likable team.
I would hope so at those prices. But you don't always get personality.
Is that supposed to be a dig at Michigan? Is that
it's a dig at all of college sports, really.
That's the way it works now.
Well, and I don't have to like it.
Yeah.
I don't have to like that people die.
Your team's going to do the same thing.
And that's what I'm afraid of, but that's the way it goes. So anyway, William, I'm sorry. I just don't care about golf. I don't know. I had one of my best friends was getting married, and this was many years ago, and he was telling me all the things he loved about his fiancée, now wife, and one of them was that she liked watching golf. And I said, "You're marrying my grandpa?" I just don't. I don't get it. I mean, going out golfing is fun when you're with your friends and you're having a drink and you're smoking a cigar and it's beautiful out there and you hit a good shot and all that other shit. But you're watching golf.
I know a lot of people that love it. And they love watching it.
You're watching golf.
For a lot of people, though, it's not a bad.
I'd rather watch the Lions.
Oh, Jesus! All right. Anyway,
that's really saying
we're
something.
done.
So anyways, please send us your feedback, and you can send that to mlsouldetroit@gmail.com. Send us your feedback. Send us your greenback. Tommy, I'm sorry I'm still asking for money, but I offered you free tickets at DCFC. Didn't come. By the way, Tommy, who I was really ranking on several weeks ago, and I found out he's a senior citizen. So
oh, nice picking on the elderly.
I feel a little bad about that.
No, you don't.
But now we're good buddies, and guess what? I am actually entitled to senior citizen discounts too. So it's elder on elder crime. Not.
I'm a member of AARP.
Are you?
Yeah.
Anybody
can be.
Oh, okay.
I like to support the elderly, unlike you. And you get good
You know
discounts.
what supports the elderly?
What? The show?
Spanx.
Oh boy. Okay. On that note.
Thanks for listening. We hope Sean will be back soon. He's been on the road. Maybe he and Erika will be back. Become a soulmate, and you'll know. You'll know it first. So, Mark, welcome back. I'm glad that Annie's feeling better.
Everything's great.
Hopefully her temperature's down under 100.
Yeah, it's her birthday. She's a happy little girl.
How's Charlotte doing? Speaking
Wonderful.
of great podcasters.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I'll see you tonight at DCFC. Remember, go to Det City FC, buy your tickets, use promo code SOUL to get a 15% discount. If you're at Bumbo's before the game, say hi. First round's on you. I'll get the next round. If you can find me. I may be at Ford's Pub with, I don't want to say with Stephen Carroll's mom. That doesn't sound good. Although she's probably younger than me. Oh, Tommy, we're both just a couple
she might
of.
be actually, yeah.
We're just both a couple of decrepit old bastards. Only one of us is low enough to cheer for the Wolverines. That's you, brother. That's you, Tommy. But anyway, so until next week. Cyrus, take us out.
Can you dig that?
Can you dig it? Can you dig
The Soul of Detroit.